Okay, y'all, it's Aina Ifamuiwa. I'm about to get started with the water sign reading. I'm excited, I got water sign placements as well. And let me just tell y'all something, okay? I should have said this in all the other videos. I didn't even think about it. But it's really important to know your full chart because these readings are for the entirety of your chart: your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your north node, your Mercury, your Mars. Wherever you have these signs in those planets or those houses, that's what these readings are for. And it's really important too, if you like astrology and you dig it, you should also get into Vedic astrology, also known as sidereal um, charts. I love Vedic astrology. I got onto a Vedic astrology this year, actually, and I've been doing astrology, like digging in it and looking at it for a lot of years. But this year, I got into Vedic astrology, and man, it was deep. It was actually connecting a lot with my path in Ifa, and there was a lot of things that were lining up and synchronistic, and it just blew my mind. So anyways, if you know any of your sidereal Vedic placements as well, you can pull and see if these messages are resonating in those houses and those signs as well of your chart. That's a nice thing about these readings. You can pull from it in the areas of your life that you need to, but be honest with yourself. Don't just, like, some people, they just keep looking for readers till they find what they want to hear. Nah, baby, don't do that. It's like keep pulling cars till you get the message you want. Keep going to people till you get the message you want. How you gonna grow? Most growth comes from discomfort. Anyways, let's get it on, crack-a-lackin' for my water sign folks. Myself included in some places. Okay. What you got for my water sign people? There's a nice smooth energy with my water signs right now. I likes it. I likes it a lot, water signs. What is the best and highest messages you have for my water sign people who are watching this video and need to watch this video? Ooh. Y'all just want me to pull from the deck this time? That's interesting. Ooh, brazen. Cosmic power. I told you, I liked, ooh, and shame. This can be a hard one sometimes. This might be connected actually with the fire sign. And giving and receiving. We got Mott at the top as well. Okay, so we're gonna start off with what is your soul trying to tell you, okay? So your soul is trying to ask you right now, like, what would you dare do if you knew you couldn't fail? A lot of people are like, oh, you're so brazen, and we look at this word as bad. But being brazen is being unapologetically yourself. It is about being true to yourself. Now, this is, it's so funny that these two cards actually came up, because for me, these two cards are connected, actually. When we talk about being unapologetically yourself, it makes me think about shame. And if any of y'all are familiar with Dr. Brené Brown, who I absolutely love and adore, she is a shame researcher, and she really talks about shame being the main thing that holds people back. Even if we look at a lot of great psychologists, I mean, I look at Jung, but shame is one of those key emotions that often tends to hold us back from being unapologetically ourselves, because we are shamed for something that we've done or had done to us, that we needed to learn from and move forward from. But I just need to throw that in as a side note. So maybe some of y'all would benefit from Brené Brown, and some other things that I'm working on. But anyways, we get to all that stuff later. So this is about being unapologetically yourself. And let's say you out and somebody starts talking mess about one of your friends and you stand up for that person. That's being brazen. If you choose a different path than what people are trying to put on you, you choose a different career path, spiritual path, path of enlightenment. Did I say career path? Anyways, that's brazen. You don't follow through with what your family expects of you. Let's say you come from a long line of, I don't know, people that practice a certain tradition and culture, and you step away from that, you're like, nah, B, this ain't for me. That's brazen. You see what I'm saying? So you got to just hold on to this. Your soul is telling you, you are bold, you are brave, you are shameless and brazen. Look at that. You are shameless. That's, part of this. I read the little message, and we got shame right here. So like your body is talking to you about shame. So it sounds to me like you on the right path, water signs. You getting to where you supposed to be going. Don't you got to really partner with the divine in this and everything that's meaning you harm and trying to make you feel bad for being brazen, it's going to fall away. It is just going to fall right away. Like this is whoo, baby, this is definitely cosmic. And so your mind is trying to talk to you now and let you know about the cosmic power. This is Mawu and Lisa. This is also from voodoo concepts and belief systems. But this is the force of like mother, father, God, goddess, moon, sun. That's that type of energy right here. And to me, that means perfect balance, like perfect balance. And this tells you cosmically at a cosmic level, but in your mind, release the fear of your power and what you're doing. You are sacred. Like there is such magic in you. Like look, like the forces that created the sun and the moon and the stars, in this case it is the cosmic power itself of the sun and the moon, but created all these forces. It created you, it created me. So it's saying like relinquish your fear of how powerful you are and the life that you're supposed to live. Like rise up into how great you are and don't be afraid. This is not about you doing what you're doing because you want external gain and you're like, I'm gonna be so great, I'm gonna be great. It's not even about that. This is you about rising up because you know that your power shines out from within you. And that's why your soul is saying, be brazen right now. Don't be afraid. Like if you are taking a different life path and your mind is like, oh, like I know I got all this. I know I got all this going on. But like, I don't really know. Your soul is like, yes, now is the time to be brazen. Now is the time to be bold. Now is the time to make those moves. Now is the time to make those changes. Now is the time to stand up and be like, you know what? I want different. I am different. I'm moving different. And you could get with me or you could get out of my way. That's all I got to say, So your body right now, so in your physical experience is telling you that you're not enough. And honey, let me tell you, that's a lie. You're not broken. Okay? You're not broken. You are not unworthy. You are so worthy. And shame keeps us small. This is what I'm saying. Like shame keeps all of us small. If you have things that have happened in your life and you don't learn to integrate them into your whole self, this is where we start getting into doing like inner child and shadow work. When things happen to us in our lives that are traumatic, sometimes we have to respond in a certain way to keep us safe at that point in time. You hear what I'm saying? Like when you're young and let's say you've been abused or you've been bullied and you puff up and you start acting a certain way, like I'm gonna beat that fool instead. You did that as a survival mechanism, but maybe let's say you puffed up and you really, really hurt somebody doing that. And you didn't mean to go that far. You were just trying to protect yourself from this inner mechanism. But now you feel bad because you grew and you're like, man, I really did some damage to some people. But I was trying to not get hurt before people hurt me because that was the trauma I experienced. And now you have shame about that. And so maybe you overextend yourself to certain people in your life or people please because you're like, I don't want to hurt nobody no more. Or maybe you don't accept help in certain ways because you're like, I don't want to go through that again. That's a part of holding shame. You see where I'm going with this? So that's just an example. That specific example I gave you doesn't mean that's what's happening in your life or that's what has happened in your life. I'm just giving it so that, it can give you something to ground and anchor to so that you understand. With shame, this shame has the power to just destroy so much goodness in people's lives. Because it tells you that you're not enough, but really, look at these other two cards. Like you have the actual cosmic embodiment of the sun and the moon here. Like that's life force energy from the masculine and the feminine saying, in your mind, I know I got this on lock, and your soul's saying, you got this on lock, step it up, step it up. Like pretty much this is saying, don't be ashamed. Your soul is telling your body, don't be ashamed. Move forward, do what you're supposed to do, because know that you're worth it, you're guided, you're protected. Okay. I think we're gonna go into the Work Your Light Oracle. And actually I'm being called maybe to do the 4 agreements. Ooh, water signs. What else is going on here? This is for June, by the way. I might come back in and do some other messages sooner. I don't know. We're going to see how these messages play out, how people enjoy them, how much, my spirit team enjoys giving them as well. We here for the people. We're here to be of service for the people and to the people and for ourselves. That's not quite it. Do you have messages for my water signs in this deck? They're saying yes. No, I think I gotta go to the 4. Oh, there we go. No. Well, somebody was just thinking about something. I was asking, oh, do you have anything from this deck? No. Maybe that's what that is. But one of y'all might have been thinking something, thinking a little something, and straight up is no. Just hold on, baby. Just wait. You might even be trying to talk yourself out of something, and the spirit team's like, stop it. No. Let me get a message from my water signs, please. From the 4 agreements. Ooh, who I absolutely love. This is based on the Toltec wisdom, Toltec knowledge. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, so communicate with clarity and assume nothing. I'm going to go with this one first, communicate clarity. So communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. So again, this is just telling me that being brazen and speaking out has a lot to do with, who was it? You know what? Actually, the air signs, they had a pretty heavy reading, and they were supposed to speak up too, but in a very specific way. I know some of y'all might have some air sign placements, but anyways, this is saying to speak up, to be brazen. Like sometimes people need to close their throat chakra a little bit because they just be saying and running their mouth in a hot type of way. This is saying you need to say what you need to say by communicating very clearly. This is not saying to not speak. This is saying to speak very clearly, and if you speak through such a way, here, let me describe it this way. So through mindfulness and Buddhist principles, before you speak, you're often told to let your words pass through 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? That's what's coming to mind for me here, about speaking and communicating with impeccability of the word. You let what you're about to say pass through those 3 gates. And if it doesn't pass through those 3 gates, don't say it. Because it's probably not true, it's probably not necessary, or it's probably not kind, and maybe it's all 3. So really don't say it. So being brazen with your words, I feel like a lot of y'all do speak from a place of kindness and honesty and truthfulness and things needing to be necessarily said. This card is telling you things need to be necessarily said. Maybe that's in relation to, somebody, like I said, walks out the room. You need to speak up for them. You need to speak up for yourself because you're doing something different that others don't expect you to do with your life. But you need to communicate this very clearly and not let people get away with walking all over what you are doing, and not feeling shameful about the decisions that you're making, the things that you're doing. Because if you feel ashamed of something and somebody can push you into shame, baby, you are not being true to yourself. You out here just living out somebody else's life because it makes them feel better for whatever reason. Man, stop. Okay, and this one is assume nothing. So in any kind of relationship, We can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. Let me tell you, this happens a lot in all types of relationships, friendships, family, situationships, anything. You can't assume, and you can't assume that, you know, people know what you want and what you need and where you're going and with who and all that. This is why this saying, like, there's so much goodness you have coming into your life right now, but you really need to speak up. And the message I'm getting for some of y'all right now is to speak up to the universe about what you want, to really channel that energy, and to not feel ashamed about what you want. You know what I'm saying? And to not let people shame you about what you want. It's almost like water signs, you can feel that cosmic energy, like you feel it pulsating in the air right now. You know, you can feel it so deeply. You feel connected, and you want to take these strides and make these changes, whether it's in a relationship, in your work, with your finances, your spiritual path. And your body is feeling ashamed of the change that you want to make by digging deeper and doing something a little bit different. Maybe you've talked to some people, maybe some people have said, like, don't do this, and by saying don't do this, or why would you do that, like, it's triggering your shame. Baby, there's no need to feel ashamed. Even if we do things that people don't agree with, and we decide, you know what? To hell with it. I'm going to do it anyways. If we do it knowing that it's coming from our soul, like a deep place in our soul song, we know, like, I'm supposed to do this, and then it doesn't work out. Let's say it doesn't work out the way that we thought it was going to work out. And then you got people over here communicating, see? I told you. That's not useful. What is useful is looking at what happened as a lesson. So now you know, when you get a certain hit about doing something, it might be telling you, don't tell people now, next time. It might be telling you, hey, look, you just miscalculated some steps along the way, but we gonna get right back up and do it again, you know? And maybe it's telling you whatever lesson you learned, now you need to speak up and share it with other people and share it with the world or share it with your family or whomever. But communication is key for you right now. Speak your truth. Okay, speak it loudly. Don't make assumptions, you know, because right now, even if you want to speak up about something but you don't, I can see this happening for some of y'all. If you want to speak up about something but you don't, and then somebody comes back around and says, well, why didn't you tell me? And then you be over here going like, well, I thought you knew. So this is really about being communicative right now, please. And like I said, whoever came up in here in a minute, whatever, you was thinking something, the answer was no. So please, communicate. My water signs, you got some lovely, beautiful energy coming up here in June, which is great. What does Get Your Life gotta say? Okay, so you are the go-to person for a lot of things, and people can always count on you to get things done the way it needs to be done. You're very reliable. Yeah, I think for some of you, maybe people depend on you a little bit too much. People depend on you so much, and you want to speak up and say, look, I can't be this for you anymore because I need to take care of myself, because deep inside you feel this cosmic power and this shift that you need to really tap into and take advantage of the way it's moving through right now. But you don't want to fully say no to the people because they're so used to depending on you. And then you don't want to be shamed into like, oh, I should be doing this. This is big for parents, you know, parents that they want to actually go and chase and follow some of their own dreams, their own hobbies and interests, what have you. But it's going to take away time from their kids, their household. And so they don't do it. They don't speak up about their needs and why they want to do it. And then they get shamed into being a good parent and not doing what they want to do because they're always the person to go to. Because let me tell you, if you are a parent, there are no days off. Thank you very much, people. There are no days off. So that could be another angle here for a few of you as well. But regardless, Ooh, there is some, like, it's good stuff coming out so long as you are being brazen. I just feel like this deck has got to give me something for y'all. Or maybe it's the Sacred Destiny deck. Did I pull from that one yet? Hold on. I just feel like some of the outcome from all this, like if you are able to stand in your brazenness, okay, and say no and speak clearly and, really tap into this cosmic power for yourself and not feel shamed into doing what other people want you to do. I mean, potentially two things could come out from this Sacred Destiny Oracle, which is the outcome, or what can you do to make your speech and your throat chakra more on point. What might be helpful? Let's start with what's going to be helpful. How can you go about speaking up a bit more? Speaking out for yourself. They're kind of like, no, we ain't got nothing. Shuffle this one more time. Yeah, I see taking risks. I see change. Look at this at the bottom of the decks as I'm about to shuffle again. So it seems to me like you do just have to take the risk. Oh, I know that could be so scary, water signs. Especially because y'all be sensitive sometimes. I got some water sign placements too. Shoot, realistically, we all got placements of everything between Vedic and Western astrology. But, look at what came back out on the bottom of the deck again. It's about taking risks. What's on the top for my peoples here? Sorry, I'm covering this up. Wonders. I'm just going to pull that to the side because I know that's not fully what it is. And being open and finding inner peace. Look, y'all, this taking risks kept coming out. And so, sometimes it's hard to speak our truth. It really is. We're afraid to hurt people. We're afraid to do something a little bit different. But when you take the risk and you say something that you need to say for yourself, it's like this card is about being unorthodox. This is what we talked about in the beginning. So sometimes you're going to have to say something or do something that is not expected of you. But what is that going to do? It's going to shift everything else around you to line you up with the cosmic power that's coming, that is here for you, this month. So rather than running away, like, take the risk. Before I turned over this card, I saw a bird too. Anyways, I'm getting distracted because this is just such a beautiful reading. And whoever is really resonating with this, like I said, this is general, so it's not going to be for everybody, but take what applies and let the rest fly, y'all. But if you could just take the risk to be brazen, to stand up and say what you need and voice your opinions and voice, yes, I want this, no, I don't want that, and being really, really clear and not having any misunderstandings or assuming people know what you want or thinking, oh, they should know what I want. If you take that risk, you got inner peace coming, wonders of the world coming. You got coming what you need, straight up. Like, this reading is all about just potential. And the potential that's here is magnificent, but you actually got to do the work. You actually need to stand up and speak and say what you need and not get caught in shame. I'm telling you, that's what this is all about. I mean, I could probably keep pulling more cards, but why? Like, we see it. It's so clear here right now. So I love y'all. Keep doing the thing. Speak up, be bold, be heard. Don't let people wrangle you into shame. Know that these cosmic energies are here for you to support you right now. Use that throat chakra. Say what you gotta say. Manifest the life you be trying to manifest. Don't get shamed into being the person for everybody. And just know, as you do this, as you are open, brazen, and take the risk, You got wonders of the life coming, like, I think that's fluorite. Fluorite is such a powerful crystal. And maybe working with fluorite will help you tap into some of that higher cosmic energy right now to speak boldly and loudly. Because the inner peace is there. I mean, you got duality and balance here so long as you take this risk. Be open, be brazen. It's here for you, water signs, and I am here for it. All right, y'all. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful at all. See ya.